Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So, I just finished watching X-Men 2 X2 United because why not? Almost next month on the 23rd, X2 is going to be 20 years old. That's freaking nuts, man. That's nuts. Man, times really did change. Man, times have really changed a lot since like 19-20 years ago with films and the superhero genre. This is one of the best Marvel based sequels, and I don't mean that to be like, oh, this film is better than this Marvel film. No, I'm not trying to say that, but when it comes to like Marvel films dating back to like 22 years and beyond, this is one of the best Marvel movies next to Spider-Man 2. The one, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Far From Home is great, but when it comes to early superhero movies, this is right up there with Blade 2, Spider-Man 2, Ghostbusters 2. I mean, this movie has so much depth. This movie has so much built into this movie. And yes, it does take place. I mean, okay, so I was wrong. In my last video about where it fits in, X2 fits in, I want to say like 6 months after, because usually typically it would take like 6 months after to like let certain news situations die down, and I think that's what it does. It just had to like take a 6 months hiatus from like the events of after the events of the Statue of Liberty. The X-Men and the Brotherhood had to take about 6 months hiatus from the instant that was the Statue of Liberty fiasco or shenanigans by Eric Clencher, aka Magneto. Personally, I think that's what happened. Now, Here's why it does not. Here's why and how it does not fit into the MCU portion of this video. It does not fit into the events of the it does not fit into the MCU because of what was going on in that time frame. Because we gotta look at it as what could have been going on in that time frame, you know? One, there was no Avengers, right? So the only team that was capable of dealing with threats bigger and larger than us were the X-Men. So in hindsight, they wouldn't be necessarily, they couldn't they couldn't technically be a part of the MCU, but in hindsight, they have been, if you think about it. But that's for when I go back around and explain how the X-Men were a part of the MCU from the very beginning. We just haven't seen them because they were dealing with their own bad guys, dealing with their own situations. And it would make sense why they aren't, but are kind of a part of both, like their own separate timeline / universe, but also a part of the MCU at the same time, because we have a lovely thing called variants and whatnot. So yeah, and keep in mind, the Avengers weren't even established yet. Like, the Avengers Initiative was just like in the baby stages. It was like a little seed in Nick Fury's mind. Which Nick Fury's Avengers team are we gonna see in Doctor Strange 2 into the Multiverse of Madness? Who knows? It could be the Hasselhoff's version, or it could be Samuel Jackson, or it could be both versions. Have a Samuel Jackson David Hasselhoff Nick Fury combo. That would actually be interesting. Just see a light-skinned guy rocking the classic David Hasselhoff Avengers team hair with an eye patch and a goatee. That would be interesting. But no, that's another thing I want to bring up. That was the only teams we could have seen in the early days were X-Men and Spider-Man. Because those films are what they are today. Spider-Man and X-Men made nerds more nerdy. Made TV nerds more TV, much more TV-ish nerds. I am both. I'm a comic book nerd. I am a TV movie nerd. Can you get any more clear cut than that? And one thing I like about this movie is that we get to see true stakes, real true stakes in this movie, because the first one did not really have too much stakes in it. I mean, they had some stakes, but it was not that much. It wasn't that big of a stake. Yeah, Senator Kelly might have died, but also he's back alive, which movie logic does not make any sense. But you know what else does not make any sense? Comic book logic. Because comic book logic and film logic, TV logic are one of the same. They don't make any sense whatsoever. I mean, can you really blame them for making sense? Do you really want movies to make sense? I don't think so. That's like asking Will Smith to slap Chris Rock again. But no, I'm just joking. Seriously, we get true risk taking in this film, and that's the beauty. And the best part of it is the mother of Iceman is like, well, haven't you tried not being a mutant? Oh yeah, Mom, I've tried so many times. It's a piece of cake. It's a piece of cake on the walkway over the Hudson. You know, super easy, barely an inconvenience. I mean, it's only puberty. It's only mutant puberty. What's the worst that can happen? You know, I turn my junk into an icicle and just go really hard on it? Nah. Yeah, that would be painful if that happened. But sometimes you just can't help the powers you are given. I'm sorry, you just can't. But that's about it. Man. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys so far. Please like, share, subscribe, and tomorrow I am going to be doing X-Men 3 Last Stand. I know, say what you will about X-Men Last Stand. I've said it I've said all the things I needed to say about X-Men Last Stand, but honestly, X-Men Last Stand grows on you. Honestly. But anyways, once again, that's all I have for you guys so far. Please like, share, subscribe, and have a good day. Thanks.